welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to share with you some high-end beauty products that I have purchased that I do not like. These are products that I wish I could return if I had the opportunity to, or I wish I just would have never purchased in the first place. Some of these products might be essentials to you or staples in your collection, and I'm not trying to offend anyone when I'm making this video. They're just items that I absolutely hated and they didn't work for me or my skin type or my skin tone. And I just wanted to share them with you guys because maybe you guys feel the same way I do, or maybe you guys have the same skin type I do. And I don't know, like I don't want you guys to waste your money if you can. So I'm gonna jump right into it and I'm gonna share with you the first product. So the first product is from Bobbi Brown. This is an eyeshadow in the color Black Velvet. So when I first saw the color of this eyeshadow, I thought it was so different. It was just the most beautiful, deep purple with like these beautiful flecks of shimmer. And I just thought it was just super unique. But when I did end up taking this product home and trying to apply it with brushes and different tools, it just did not work. The pigmentation wasn't there, it wasn't coming off on my brush. I even scraped off a layer, the top layer, because it just had that like gritty, weird feeling, like it was just not good. And that's why it looks like this right now. And it still was not great. Like I just feel like the formulation of this eyeshadow is not good. I don't like it. I just wish that it was a little bit better. And I love the color, but when it comes to formulation, it just did nothing for me. It doesn't stay on your lids. It's not very pigmented. It literally wipes off when you apply it on your hand. So I'll swatch it for you. And it looks beautiful in the swatch. But when you apply it to the skin, that's it. This I would definitely forego. I do have several other Bobbi Brown eyeshadows and they are great quality. I have like 3 mattes and I do not have any problems with them. I haven't tried any of her other shimmery shades, but this one was just definitely a no-go. I don't know if it's the color or the formulation, but this one was not a good eyeshadow as far as I'm concerned, especially for the price point. So the next item is from NARS. This is a cream blush in the color Penny Lane. And when I first bought this, I actually bought it online and I thought it was a powder blush. And it's just like a really beautiful shell color. And I thought this would be great, like something a little bit more neutral when you want to have just like the most simple flush of color to the cheeks. I thought that this would be a really great shade to have in my collection. And when I got it, I saw that it was cream, and I do not like cream blushes. They do not work for me. I just don't think they look good on my skin, and they just usually tend to peel off my foundation. But I decided to give this a shot because I did pay for it, and it did more than peel off my foundation. It just like literally like left my like cheeks completely bare. And I tried with a beauty blender, I tried with a brush. It just is not good, and it was super chalky on me. It just was a no-go for me, and I really wish that I would have paid closer attention to the description and not thrown away my box so I could have returned this, because this is something that I absolutely hate in my collection. Moving on from that product, I'm going to share with you 2 eyeshadow primers. Now these eyeshadow primers are from Sigma Beauty, and I was really excited to purchase some of their bases because I feel like it's really important to have a great eyeshadow base. And one of the girls that I subscribed to on my channel always used a Sigma base, and it looked really nice when she would apply her eyeshadows, and I thought like this would be a really great alternative to MAC or to the Kat Von D ones that I've always used. And this actually came in a collection. I can't remember when. I think it was like a year or 2 ago. And when I got it, I just was not impressed, you guys. Like this was just a weird texture. This one is a pearlescent shade. It's like a pearlescent pink. It's in the color Awake. And this one is more of like a peachy tone, and it's in the color Neutralize. They do not stick to the lids, and when you do get product on the lids, they kind of are a creasy mess. I don't like them. They're not great bases as far as I'm concerned. They don't work for me and my eyelids, and I feel like it's just really important to have a great base when working with eyeshadows, and these just did nothing for me. They just literally sit in my drawer because they just were poor quality, and I was really disappointed because I wanted so badly to love them, but they just didn't work for me. So the next thing I'm going to share with you is from Urban Decay. This is the Naked Flushed palette. This contains a bronzer, a highlight, and a blush. And when I first saw this, that it launched, this was the first one they ever launched, I was really pumped about it because I'm all for having a nice travel-sized palette, one that contains like everything you need. That way it cuts down on things you have to pack when you're packing your makeup bag. And I thought that this was gonna be a really great item to have in my collection, but the bronzer is just at my skin tone. It just does nothing for me. It's a little bit light and chalky on my skin. So that was like a big downfall for me because the majority of the product is bronzer. The highlight also was a little bit fair for my skin tone. It just did nothing for me, and it's a little powdery, so it doesn't stay that well as well. And the blush isn't horrible, but the color I wish was a little bit more universal and not so vibrant. But I mean, I could work with the blush. It's just the other two products just didn't work for me. The formulation of them is not bad. They're very soft, but they are very powdery. So when it came to the highlight, it would just kind of dust off. And the bronzer, like I said, is at my skin tone, if not a little bit more fair. So it just didn't work for me, and this product just kind of just sits around in my collection. Unfortunately, I wanted to like it, but just didn't work for me. The next item is from Laura Gellar. This is the 20 Shades of Baked Eyeshadow Portfolio. And when I saw this in Ulta last year, I was super pumped because it looked really nice. It's got a really great selection of colors. It's got blues, it's got greens, it's got like very iridescent shades. Especially this color right here, it's called Amethyst. It's like a really beautiful pearly pink purple, and it looks so beautiful, and when I swatched it, it looked really, really nice. So I did purchase it, and I have to say that this is a product that I just really, really regret purchasing because the color pigmentation of these baked shadows are not good at all. They are so poor. They do not come off on your brush. You really have to dig into the product, and even so, it doesn't apply well when you apply it to the lids. So I tried so many different ways to use that because I know baked shadows you can apply wet or dry. And I tried with Max Fix Plus, still nothing. It's just very hard to work with this product, and I think this was about $50, so I do feel like it was a waste of money, and I wish I could have returned it because it's something I really don't get my use out of. You can see that I barely touch any of the shades, and you can see this color right here, Amethyst. This one I was drawn to when I purchased it. I really tried to work with it. You could see that I was like digging my brush around in it, but this palette is not very good. I feel like if anything, one or two shades work, but the rest of them are not very pigmented and not very great quality. So if you see, I think they do have something similar like this to be launched right now. If you like it, like try it, swatch it, see if you like it, but I don't suggest it because my experience with this was not very good. The next eyeshadow palette I'm going to share with you is from Urban Decay. This is the Naked 2 eyeshadow palette. And so many people love the Naked palettes, and I am kind of on the fence about them. I don't feel like they're the greatest palettes to ever walk across Sephora or Ulta or wherever beauty store you shop at. I don't feel like they're that spectacular. I feel like they're very dull. The colors are like mediocre. The quality is mediocre. I just don't feel super impressed with the palette, and I don't feel like it's a one-stop shop, especially the Naked 2. Like, this one does not work for my skin tone. I feel like it's just very bland, and I don't think they did a great selection. The only color I really like in here is Half Baked and Foxy because those two work for me, and maybe even Blackout. That one's alright, but the rest of them are blah. Like, they're not great shades for me, for my skin tone. I feel like if you are a little bit more fair, these can work for you. They can be good. But for my skin tone and deeper, like, these are like kind of boring. If you're gonna get one, I would definitely suggest the original Naked one. But this one is blah to me. I don't care for it. It's something that I would definitely pass on if I had the opportunity to purchase it again. I think all in all, the Naked palettes are all kind of mediocre. I feel like if you want a palette that is kind of neutral, but great quality. I definitely suggest the Too Faced palettes. Those are my favorite neutral palettes. They're absolutely stunning. The chocolate ones, oh, I love them. And the semi-sweet one, meh, I can pass on. But the other 2 or 3 that they launch, I love. So yeah, if you're in the market for a neutrals palette, this is the one that I would definitely say rethink before you purchase. Okay, so I'm going to share with you some face products that didn't really work for me. So the first of which is MAC's Face and Body Foundation. This is a water-based foundation. I bought this because I thought it was going to be something that was really light coverage, really great for a day-to-day, like maybe when I'm working or when my skin is like pretty clear. I thought it was going to be a nice foundation to have because it is water-based, and I thought it was going to be really easy on my skin. But this foundation is like, I don't care for it. It's basically full, and it's very liquidy, and the color pigmentation is just very, very sheer. Like, it's not even like a CC cream or a BB cream. It's just literally like water with a tint of color, and it does nothing. Like, and I just feel like it leaves my skin a little bit greasy, and I just do not care for it. If I do use this product, I do mix it with the Cover FX drops or a really thick foundation to just kind of sheer it out, like maybe Kat Von D's foundation. I feel like with that kind of product it works, but on its own it doesn't work for me. But I know so many people do care for it, especially if you have dry skin. I think if you're dry and you have very good skin that's very clear with no blemishes, that product might work for you. But if you're oily, or if you have problematic skin, or if you have any blemishes, this is not going to cover anything. It's literally like water on your skin, and it just leaves me feeling very greasy. So I don't really care for this product. I would definitely forego on it. Out of all the MAC foundations they offer, this one is the least appealing to me. Okay, the next face product I'm going to share with you guys is from Benefit. This is the Erase Paste in the color 3 Deep. And when I first saw this, I was super intrigued because when I did dip my finger into it and put it on my skin, it really seemed very opaque and like it had a lot of coverage, which it does, and I still think it's really great as far as that aspect. But the thing I do not care for is that first, it's in like a very like narrow pot, so it's hard to get the product out. You definitely have to use a brush. It's like to dip your fingers in there, it's just kind of messy, so I don't really care for that. And not just that, this product is just very thick. So applying this underneath my eyes, which is what I originally bought it for, does not work for me. This is more of like something I will now use for underneath my brows, to define my brows and things like that. But underneath my eyes, it is just a creasy mess. And one thing that really drew me towards this shade is that it has a tint of orange in it, like a little bit of peach. So it was really great because it was like a concealer and a color corrector. But for me, it was just very, very thick underneath the eyes. It felt very heavy, and it just creased a lot, even when I would use like my beauty blender. So if you're someone who doesn't like a very heavy concealer like myself, like stay away from this one because it is a very thick concealer and it will crease underneath your eyes. Like for sure it's gonna crease. The next item I'm gonna share with you, also a concealer, is from Makeup Forever. This is the Camouflage palette, and I purchased this because I just thought that this was a genius product as far as including a color corrector. You have your contour shades, your bronzing shades, you have your highlighting shades. So this was a really great concept because it felt like a one-stop shop. But I hate this. I hate it so much. It just does absolutely nothing for me. I do not like it. It's just very sheer. It kind of moves around a lot. It doesn't stay really well on the skin. I mean, if anything, I think the contouring shades are okay because I set them with powder and they don't seem to budge. But when it comes to the color correctors and the concealers, they just do not work for me, especially under my eyes, and they also crease. So I just don't like the formulation on them. This is the older ones they put out. I don't know if the new one is better, but as far as this, I do not like. I just feel like when it came to like a concealing, color correcting, and contouring palette, this one was definitely a bust in my opinion, because I feel like there's definitely brands out there that have much better quality when it comes to a product like this. The next item I'm going to share with you is from Amazing Cosmetics. This is the Amazing Concealer, and this concealer is really nice, but it's not nice for underneath your eyes, and that's why I don't really care for it. It's nice because it's got really great coverage, but it is just so thick, you guys. I've applied it with my beauty blender, which usually seems to do the trick with thicker products, but this one was just way too thick, and it feels a little bit heavy on the skin, and it's very sticky, and it just feels like a lot. Like you can see right there, it's very pigmented, so it's definitely going to cover up any blemishes, but if you're trying to use this underneath your eyes, I would not suggest it. It's just very heavy, and I don't like that, especially for an under eye concealer, because I do have fine lines. I feel like it's easy to look cakey down there. So I prefer to have something that is a little bit more liquidy or a little bit lighter. It just sinks into all my fine lines, and it just makes me look like a cakey mess underneath my eyes, and I just do not like that. So this didn't work for me. Like I said before with the erase paste, maybe it will work for like underneath my brow bones, because that doesn't seem to have any issues when it comes to creasing and things like that. But for underneath my eyes, it was a no. Okay, so a foundation that I purchased was from Paula Dorf, and when I was in college, my roommate loved Paula Dorf, and because she loved it, I wanted to love it, and I was really excited when I saw this was on, I think it was beauty.com. I purchased it, and it was actually on sale, I believe. It was a little bit cheaper. There was like an event going on, like 20% off or something like that, so I did get it for a reduced price. And I've had Paula Dorf eyeshadows, and I've had Paula Dorf foundations in the past, and I've never had a problem with them. But this one is oil free, it's hypoallergenic, it's fragrance free, so those things appeal to me, and it's got a really great color match to my skin tone. But when I received the product, I was not impressed, because it's a very gritty and grainy. It's got these grains in it, and I thought it like, let me see if I could show you guys. Okay, so that is the foundation, and you can see there is grit in that baby. I don't know what that is. So you can clearly see that there is texture in this foundation, and even when you buff it out and work it into the skin, it just sits on top. And I was really disappointed, because I thought that was a complete bust when it came to the actual product. I don't like to have products with like granulations, especially a foundation, and I just thought that it wasn't nice. It wasn't buffing into the skin, the granulation, it was just sitting on top of it, and I don't want to be working with my foundation and having to dust stuff off of my skin. Like, I feel like that completely goes against the purpose of it. So I just think that this product was an absolute no. I've never seen a foundation with gritty sand-like materials in it. I don't know if I got like a bad batch, but my mom got one too, and hers was the same. So I don't know. I would definitely stay away from this. I don't even know if they make this anymore. I didn't even look, but this was a hell to the no. So moving on from that, I'm going to share with you another foundation. This one is from Buxom. This is the Show Some Skin Weightless Foundation. It's light to medium coverage. It's got SPF 30 in it, and I thought this was going to be a really great item to have for, you know, chill days, kind of like a BB cream, but with a tad bit more coverage. And I just didn't like it. The color match was a little bit too yellow for me, and I don't like the way it felt. It felt very similar to the MAC Face and Body Foundation, and it just left my face feeling like very wet, and I didn't like that about it. I don't know, I just didn't like this, you guys. It just didn't work for me. I know if you probably have drier skin, it might be a better choice, but for you combination to oily girls, like, no. The next product I got was from Benefit, and this is the Girl Meets Pearl Liquid Pearl Face. This is kind of like a liquid highlight, and this one didn't work for me, you guys. It was just, first of all, the color doesn't work for my skin tone. That kind of sucked, because I was looking forward to it, and it just, took all my foundation off when I would use it. It's not very pigmented. I just think that this has like no great features. I have used liquid highlights that really are beautiful, like the ones from Becca I absolutely adore. There's a few other I've used, ones from Cover FX. Those are great as well, but this one just absolutely is a waste of money because it does nothing for me. If you're more fair, it might be a better color match, but it's gonna give you a very, very, very light coverage. Like when it comes to highlight, this is if you wanna have like the most basic highlight of highlights in highlight history. Like this is what I would use, but no. I like my highlight to be like on and poppin'. So keeping on with the highlights, I'm gonna share with you the Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit. You guys, this was the ultimate disappointment for me. Like this hurt my feelings. And I feel like that's why I haven't returned it yet, because I still have the packaging, I still have the receipt. I don't know, I'm trying to work with it and I'm failing. When I first saw this on Instagram, it blew me away. I was like, yes, Anastasia, yes, yes, yes. Like I thought this palette had it on and popping. Like the colors are to die for. Like they're bronze, but you have your like really fair shade, and I just thought this was gonna be great for the Mocha Mamas. Like I thought this was gonna be it. Like I thought I was just gonna have to like drop my mic, like drop every other highlight, and just this was gonna be bae. But you guys, this is horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. Okay, so I applied it on my cheeks today, and literally if you were to look at me dead in my face, you would not really know that I have highlight on. It literally does not stick to the skin. I've never had a highlight that just comes off. It's just so gritty. I don't like it, you guys. It just doesn't work for me. It looks so beautiful when you stick your fingers in it. Like when I show you this on my fingers, it looks like stunning. But when you apply it, it does not do anything for me. I don't know what is up with this. And it comes off. It's not pigmented. Like look, I swatched them on my hand and you could barely see them. I just think that she really, really, really dropped the ball when it came to this. I think that a lot of people had high expectations for this, and I did look at a lot of reviews on Sephora to see if maybe someone had like a trick to making it apply better, but everyone pretty much knocked it. There was a few people who liked it, but I don't like it, you guys. I've been trying to work with it, and I just feel like it's just very gritty and very grainy and very glittery and just not what I anticipated it to be. And I wish that she had really did a better job with the formulation of these, because I have every single one of her glow kits besides the Moonchild one, and they're perfect. They're to die for. I always rant and rave about them, but this one was horrible, and it is the one that I think that I was looking forward to the most. So I was super disappointed. I still want to take it back, but I don't know, I just am hoping that there's some way that I can find a purpose for it and use it, but I don't love it, you guys. I don't love it. The next product I'm going to share with you is a primer. This is the Stay Flawless 15-Hour Primer from Benefit. This is a stick foundation, and the reason I bought this was because Jaclyn Hill had mentioned it and said it was like, when she used to not use primer, she said that this was the only primer she loved. So I did buy it because I'm pretty much a sucker for everything she suggests. And it's a primer like this, and you like kind of stick it on and roll it around, and I just don't like it, you guys. Like it's very sticky. I don't feel like it left my face like super like wow, like this is such a great base for my foundation. Like it did absolutely nothing for me. I didn't like the way it felt. It felt kind of heavy on my skin, and the way you have to use this is because it dries quickly, is you have to like apply it to the face, blend your foundation in that face, apply it to the face, blend your foundation into the face. So I felt like it was very time consuming. I don't have time for that. I don't sit there and do my face in parts. So it was just not for me. I didn't like it. It didn't feel good. I didn't have time for that. Okay. Moving on from that, I'm going to share with you another Benefit product. I don't know why I don't like Benefit stuff. I just realized that. Like 5 things are from Benefit. Sorry, Benefit. But the Fakeup concealer, I don't know. This is like a gimmick product. It's got a moisturizing stick and then the color pigmentation in the middle. I also bought this because of Jaclyn Hill. I don't know why. It just is very greasy. It doesn't stick very well underneath my eyes. It creases in all of my fine lines. I don't feel like it's very pigmented. It doesn't really do much for concealing underneath my eyes. It just, I don't know what the purpose of this is. I don't even know why I bought this. Like, I should have swatched this and known better, but I can live without this product. I feel like maybe this product would be good for shearing something out, like if you place this down, because it's a little bit more moisturizing and it's got a little bit more of an oily feel to it, and then putting a thicker concealer on top of it, maybe it would work. I should probably try that. Maybe it would work better that way, but I don't know. I'm just trying to find a use for it because I have it. So don't go buy it because I thought I said that I couldn't do that. Like, I'm just trying to think out loud, okay? And it smells like cheap products. Like, it smells like a dollar store product. I don't know what. Like kids makeup. Like when I was a kid, I feel like I had makeup that had this scent to it. Okay. Tarte released this, what is it called? Lights, Camera, Lashes. I bought this because Ulta. Ulta had them buy one, get one free because it was like the 21 Days of Beauty. I don't like this. And I really feel like it's hard to mess up mascara. This one does not coat my lashes very well. I feel like it's just very drying. Especially for it being a new tube. It's just very dry. And when I apply it to my lashes, it just does not give my lashes any life. It doesn't do anything for me. I don't care for it. I think that the packaging is amazing. I think it's really cute. It's in like a snake skin, kind of like a leather kind of thing. But that's all it's got going for it as far as I'm concerned. It does nothing for me, nothing for my lashes. You can definitely buy something at the drugstore that is so much better and for $1/4 of the price. So, no Tarte. Okay, so another product I wanted to share with you guys is from Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is the Contour Cream Kit. This is in the color medium. And I love the idea of this. I love that you can pop out the shades you wanted. I love that she had like a really deep contour shade, a medium shade, like a highlighting shade, and then a color corrector. So this product is just very pasty. In order to properly use this, you have to add a beauty oil. And that is the truth. Like, this product would be so much better if it had a little bit more oil in the actual product. It made it a little bit easier to glide on, but it's too pasty for me on its own. I always am dropping beauty products into it, any kind of beauty oil, Josie, Maran, Smashbox, whichever beauty oil you have in your collection is essential when applying this, because other than that, it's very dry, it's very like creasy. It just doesn't look good without a beauty oil, and that is why I wouldn't suggest it for the price point. I feel like they could have done a better job with the formulation. And I really hate when you have to add things to products to make it better. I think it just makes it less marketable and less like, just makes it look less desirable to me. So that's why I don't like this product. I mean, it's just, if you have it, then like, cool, but I wouldn't go out and get it. And I think they have this at TJ Maxx and Marshalls now. I actually saw one of these in Marshalls. So if you want it for a discounted price, get it there. The next product I'm going to share with you is from Josie Maran. This is the Argan Illuminizer. And I bought this because of Jaclyn Hill, because she used it in a video and I was like, oh my god, it's so beautiful. And when I applied it on my face, it left, like wherever I placed it and I would try to blend it out, it left a mark there and it kind of lifted the foundation. So that I don't like. I think that this is better, not an illuminizer that you would place in specific areas like your cheekbones, your nose, your, you know, wherever the typical places you would highlight, but it's better for like mixing in your foundation to give you luminosity. On its own as a highlight, it's not good because it dries quickly, it comes off, it's hard to blend out, especially when it sets. Like when you apply it, if you apply it like here, 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 by the time you blend this part out, all the rest of them are pretty much close to being dry, and they're hard to blend out, and they're hard to like, they just leave a mark so you can see where you applied it. So that's what I don't like about it, and I feel like if you do want it, or if you want to use it, mix it in with a foundation to create a luminosity to the skin. For that, it's okay. I actually used it for that today, but I wouldn't buy this again. That is for sure, because it was a little bit pricey. Okay, now Too Faced launched these Sketch Marker You're So Too Faced Liquid Art Eyeliners. And I'm really not a huge fan of felt tip liners, but I did use this and it was super black, and I love that about it. It was black, 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 and it covered over your shimmery eyeshadows, because sometimes I feel like with liquid liners, when you have a really shimmery eyeshadow, sometimes it kind of is dull and it doesn't cover them fully. But this guy, this really packed a punch as far as pigmentation, and I love that about it. But I've used this a handful of times, maybe 8 to 10 times, and the top already frayed away, and I had to cut it, and so now it's really dull and it's very difficult to work with. So the actual product is great. I hate the application. It's not good. It's very cheap. It doesn't work well, and it frays away so quickly, so I feel like it makes it not worth it. And I was really disappointed about that, because I absolutely adore Too Faced, which I'm also really upset about, because, I mean, I'm not upset, but I feel like a way, because Too Faced just sold their brand to Estee Lauder. And I love Too Faced. It's one of my favorite brands of all time. If you watch my channel, you know that. And I'm just scared that because they sold their company to like this huge company that produces MAC and all these other brands, that it's going to cheapen it and the quality is not going to be as good. I don't know if it's just me, but that is my fear for Too Faced, because they're such a phenomenal company and I love everything they put out just about. So a little bit sad today, morning, a little bit. So yeah, sorry for the sidetrack, but this product, I don't think it's worth it just for that simple fact that I feel like you're not going to get your money's worth, because it just frayed away so quickly, and I just was not expecting it to fray away that quickly. I knew it was going to fray because it is felt tipped, but it frayed away quicker than I could have imagined. Okay, so the last product I'm going to share with you is a face wash. This is from Pericone MD. This is the Nutritive Cleanser, and this face wash is very pricey, you guys. I got this buy one get one. I got 2 of them. So it made it a little bit easier because you're getting 2 for the price of 1. I was like, all right, I can work with that. This is not good. Like, this does nothing for me. It doesn't do anything for my face. It doesn't do anything for my skin. I don't feel like, ooh, when I'm done using it. Like, the price point of this is so insane that you would think that when you would apply it to the face, you would see like such a difference in your skin. You would feel like it feels really fresh and very clear, and it would clear up like blemishes. But this did absolutely nothing for me. I'm literally just using it just to use it because I have it. It's not a great product. I don't feel like it lifts off all the dirt in my skin as well. Like Glam Glow, when I use my Glam Glow face wash, that stuff is bomb. It takes off everything. Even my Origins face wash, I love those, the Checks and Balances one. I feel like my face feels clean when I'm done using those products. This just feels like nothing. And when I will use like toner, which I always use with this one, I always have product come off. So I don't feel like it gets all the makeup off of your skin. And it says that it will take off makeup in the description when I looked it up online, but it doesn't do it that great. So definitely, like, don't waste your money, you guys, because this was not that great. Okay, so that concludes this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope I didn't offend anyone, and I hope that maybe I made you guys rethink some of the things you were going to purchase if you were going to purchase anything I mentioned. And I will see you guys soon. Bye, guys.